Artis.
Yeah, Mike. Mike was a sophomore.
Mike Artis, who went on to
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, played at Cincinnati.
Big Mike.
Yeah, very good.
He was a sophomore. Yeah.
He was a sophomore then, and he fouled him.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it.
No, they said it was tit for tat. It was the last second shot. Fouled him.
It's the last second shot. You really got to get hammered.
Yeah.
Especially in the region. Now you go downstate.
Yeah, it's a different story.
You go downstate and, like, say somebody from Washington goes up for a shot, and a guy from Lew Wallace is like standing within 3 feet of him. Then it's a foul. It doesn't it doesn't really matter. But if it's two region teams going at it,
well, we went through that when I was coaching with Coach Todd, and the shot we played against Bryce Drew. One of our kids had the last shot, and remember. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't run the clock quick enough and gave Bishop time enough to shoot it.
Gave him some more time to make that shot.
Right. See, I've been experiencing a lot of them, one way or another.
God, I would love to get, like, the call from that. You know anybody who might have the WJOB tape from that? You know, it's an EC game. You know, we got it so that we did the game. But that's the kind of stuff we miss. And when
that was the time that I think Willie Puckett, they got the ball, went to the layup, and then they called traveling on him at half court, and he was already did the basket. That's fresh.
Remember that kind of? Is that fresh in your mind? Can you picture it right now?
Because we were supposed to have been there.
Would that have been right in front of the bench too? Because
no, it was on the far end.
It was on the far end,
away from us. Yes.
And you can picture it right now.
I can see it.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been Valpo.
No, it'd been in Chicago Central. Without a doubt.
Isn't that crazy? How you can remember that kind of stuff? 219-845-1100. We're talking to the city of East Chicago, and it is 8:47 in the Calumet region. What about traffic going to the city? You should be okay on most of the roadways. Don't forget Calumet Avenue through Munster is down to 1 lane in both directions between Fisher and Main Street, and has been a major backup all morning long. Possible rain today, maybe not on the rain. What else we got going on in the city of East Chicago?
All kind of stuff, Jed. It's been a busy summer. Last week we just opened up the Dollar General over there across from the library in East Chicago. Not the main library, the East Chicago one.
I saw there was an article on that.
Okay.
Dollar General across from the main library on Chicago Avenue. So that's on the
Chicago Avenue.
It's on the south side of the street. Dollar General is.
Right.
And because the library's on the north side.
Yeah, great products, awesome values, and it's a really neat store. Got all kind of things from clothes to food, all kind of things, household supplies.
And that was opened when?
That was last Thursday. We had the district manager, Mark Edwards, came out and with the mayor George McBay, and Tara Samuels, economic development director. They cut the ribbon and had the grand opening. It was a really nice event. Had to do a little shopping, looking inside and seeing what the different products that they have there and the values that they have there. It's a great store. Dollar General. Welcome to East Chicago.
Kenny, I just got a text. Jed, get your fat head out of the way so we can see Kenny. All right. I understand. You don't have You don't have to do that. All right. And so Dollar General open up. Anything else going on in East Chicago?
Well, that same week we had the Night Against Crime. East Chicago, we celebrated the Night Against Crime. We had a parade out there starting at Kosciuszko Park. And by the way, Kenny, thank you for all your help. I was actually coordinated with the park, National Night Out, Sisters Cry for Justice, the police department, the city. It was a really nice event. We had about 100 people parading down Northcott to Post 369. I know other communities celebrate it a little differently. Ours is a little more somber. Actually, we have a young woman named Nora Ferrer who lost her brother, and she put an organization together called Sisters Cry for Help, and she coordinates and collaborates with the city every year, and they remember their lost ones in a silent parade down.
And what's her name again?
Nora Ferrer.
Nora Ferrer.
Mm-hmm.
And she lost her brother. Was he killed in some sort of violence? Or?
Yes, back in 1998. So her family, they remember his legacy by having this little parade, and the city helps them, and it's a good cause.
And that was on National Night Out?
That's on National Night Out. It was a really nice event. That was, I believe, that was Tuesday of that week, and then Thursday we had the
it's a little more somber. I know, like Munster has a big party over
Right.
at the pool, and Hammond has theirs, and it's kind of a festive atmosphere and
Right.
so forth. But you guys go a little bit more somber.
Well, in the evening we do. In the afternoon, Kenny and Franny and Toshiba had a wonderful night out with the kids, and that was more of a celebration with balloons and games and food and some music, and that was a really nice event as well. We had our ECTV guys out there recording it, and obviously all our stuff's on East Channel 21 there. We can find it on YouTube as well, Facebook, and post all the pictures and stuff. So really cool stuff.
The somber mood. I mean, obviously, you look around, and Ferrer's brother has been killed. I mean, there is killing and violence
Right.
on the streets of East Chicago from time to time.
Well, it's
and
everywhere. It's a reality. That's why they do this National Crime Night. Every community celebrates a little differently, and we do a little bit of everything. We got the kids out there celebrating anti-drug messages and
Right.
anti-violence, and then in the evening time we had this parade that remembers all the lost ones, the people who have lost loved ones.
Kenny, 1970 East Chicago, Washington. 2010 East Chicago Central.
Okay.
What's the biggest difference in your mind? What kids are facing, what kids are up against,
It's-
the safety of the city?
It's
Move on up
more-
to that mic a little bit, will you?
Oh, okay. As far as back then, we had a lot more that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, where you can do something on one side of town and that parent can tell you what to do. Nowadays we don't have that. We need more of a family atmosphere in the city, of everybody getting involved into our youths.
How do you do that?
Well, you do that, first of all, you start at home. A parent has to make sure that his home is safe before he go out and help another home. And once you help your home, you help another home, and you grow. But we got to stick together. We have to stick together.
Well, let's look at the cycle of East Chicago. And I don't know, the heyday was probably right about, a lot of
Right,
people
at
would look
that
at the
time.
heyday right, in the 60s and the 70s.
Exactly.
And then the statistics would show that there has been an increase of crime in, say, the last, decade or so. And the schools are facing some real challenges right now. They've been on Tony Bennett's, bad list for a while, and some of the scores haven't shown and so forth. You've been through, these cycles with East Chicago. Let's look forward to, say, 5 or 10 years from now. Can there be some real improvements in both crime and education in EC?
Well, let's go with education first. The new superintendent, I think, is going in the right direction of the things that he's trying to put together. The mayor has a plan to deal with the police and the neighborhoods and try to get more people involved. But school system, I think, is on up and up.
School system, and the thing that always impresses me, and mostly like in the basketball times, I'll go into the schools and get over there picking stuff up and meet and talk to people, and even get to meet some of the teachers and have them call in and so forth. It seems as if, and this is just my outside opinion, that there are a ton of good teachers, and there are a ton of really cool kids that really want to learn and so forth. And then you'll just see small groups that seem to be pretty, kind of disruptive to the whole process.
The thing with that is, to me, is if we would focus more on the good teachers and the good kids, instead of letting a few that mess up the whole program, and quit publicizing that and publicize the good things that's being done, instead of always shooting out there talking about the bad things, because there's bad things everywhere. But if we can get more publicity on the good things, because we just had a young man, I think, Damon, if I'm not mistaken, got a scholarship to Yale.
Harvard.
Harvard. Okay, this is a
Out of
young man that
Central?
comes out of Central.
Mike
Okay.
Mendoza, he's the valedictorian of East Chicago Central. He's actually working, we had the interns, remember we brought him out a couple of times ago, talk about their experience. He's an intern, I believe, for the human resource department.
Oh, we need to get him in here, by the way.
And we got great kids. I mean, you look at Etwan Moore, he's Big Ten academic. I mean, you just go
that's
on and
lost,
on.
by the way.
Yes.
People are like, Etwan Moore is all academic team on the Big Ten.
Yes.
Out of Central.
Yes, and we got, I mean, a lot more good kids, a lot more. The list goes on and on, but we don't know about those because we're always talking about the bad things that's going on. And I guarantee you there's a lot more good things going on in East Chicago than bad.
Yeah, there's a nice billboard over there on Columbus Drive. It has Etuan's picture on there. It says, congratulations, Etuan.
Columbus and what?
Columbus, and actually it's right across from the school city administration building. I think that's, I forgot the address there, but it's right across there. It has all conference or all academic team.
Kenny Monroe, you are the head of the EC Parks and Rec, right?
Yes.
And Toshiba Thomas. Toshiba, where do you go to high school?
Calumet High School in Chicago.
Calumet High School in Chicago. When did you move down here?
Ooh, maybe about 14 years ago.
Why?
My mom.
Your mom moved down here?
Yeah, she came and I.
And you
of course,
followed with her?
Mhm.
And how do you
I've
like
been here
that?
Since. Well, I haven't left, so.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
that's an endorsement right there. Damien, update on North Harbor.
North Harbor, they're making a lot of improvements. The mayor and I were just out there last week taking some photos. They've got some construction. All the new housing's still going up. The construction's still going. What is it? Broadway is the streets closed down there by El Michoacan restaurant because they're fixing the streets, and they're going to do some demolition there. And it's going to be really, really neat in the next 2 or 3 years. If you go down there now and take a look, it's pretty awesome. But you should go take a look now and wait in a couple of years to see how it's going to look.
Because as of right now, I think we're putting up 75 new units.
75 new units.
75 new units.
That's that are either built or are being built right now.
Being
Being
built.
built
That's
now.
not the ones that are there now. It's the ones being built.
How many are there now around you?
I'm not sure. I want to say close to 80.
So you're basically doubling the space right now,
Yes.
right? The ones that are being built. If you guys haven't been down to the North Harbor area, well, tell people how to get exactly to this area where all this new construction is.
Well, if you're going on off Klein Avenue, the best way to get off is you get Klein to Columbus Drive, and then you go down Main Street, and Main Street will take you all the way to where all the action's at. Main and Broadway is one of the biggest, nicest spots there because you can see everything coming. They just took down that old pharmacy that was across the street from the old Albert's Jewelers. Now it's a police substation, and it's right there is the best way to probably see the whole city. All those streets are getting some really facelifts. It's really, really nice.
So by the time this is done, then you're talking roughly 150 new units, and they're all brand spanking new. And I think that a lot of people that are listening don't go to the harbor on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true. And even the people that are there, I'll tell you, Jed, my aunt, she lives on 36 Grand, and she's kind of sickly. She went out and they went driving down the block, and she said, "Man, I couldn't believe where I was at." She was, I haven't been out in about a month, and just to see all the action out there and all the new homes, and she was, "It's pretty awesome. This is really, really neat."
There's a lot of
And
new
that's
homes.
just the beginning.
And that's only 2 blocks away from them. So if you haven't been there in a few years, go down and see, because it's a really neat time. It's a lot of energy and enthusiasm in East Chicago. The mayor has a great, ambitious agenda, and he hasn't stopped it since he's been in office. And people don't see that, but he's a worker bee. He's not one for the radio or TV or the newspapers, but he's in that office making phone calls, setting up meetings and appointments, and taking us all around and showing us his vision.